Welcome to Hot Takes. I'm Ryan Lazev with Tyler Jacobson and Sam Cucuzzella. So there's not that many sports going on right now, but they're starting to heat up. Well, MLB and NBA get into the thick of things right now. We'll start off with the NBA. I mean, a bunch of players up for MVP. Usual same guys, but there's some new guys in the mix. I mean, Sam, who's your MVP pick right now?
I mean, right now I got to go with SGA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's going off this year. In my opinion, there are like 4 clear-cut guys at this race. You have Doncic, you have Jokic, you have Giannis, and you have SGA. I don't really believe like the Tatum hype that much. But I do believe that those 4 are the big ones, and SGA, what he's doing with this young Thunder team that are going back and forth for number 1 with Minnesota, I think it's really impressive what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, OKC's not in the position they are without his play right now. But I want to talk about another West team. Actually, 2 more teams in the West. I like Luka's play right now. I think he has a chance at it in the second half of the season. He's leading that team. He's putting up crazy numbers. The defense is the one thing that might lose him the award. On the other hand, I think the league is probably going to give it to Jokic. They love the Jokic and Embiid, battle back and forth for MVP. Fortunately, our guy Joel Embiid is out right now with the knee. Prayers up to him. But I think the league's going to give it to Jokic just because they'll give him his third. It'll be a good story, and he's having the season to do it.
I mean, if you want to talk about thirds, I got to go with Giannis. I mean, about Luka, like, as good as he is, they're only 8 in the West. And even with Jokic, they're only 4. And like you were saying, yeah, SGA first and second in the West. But Giannis's Bucks are second in the East.
How far is that going to fall with Doc Rivers, though? Because they're going to plummet. Doc
but
is
with
terrible.
Giannis,
Yeah,
I mean,
scary.
Giannis is
Awful hire.
Giannis is such a good player. He will keep them up. The other teams are so far behind, and the East is stronger than the West too. I mean, the Bucks only have 1 less win than the Thunder. And talking about stats, counting stats, Giannis has better stats than SGA. I mean, he's a better shooter. He's better at shooting from the field right now. Way more rebounds. Only slightly under for points per game, and basically have the same amount of assists. So if we want to go counting stats, I mean, it's Giannis all the way.
Yeah, but just in general, I just don't think it's going to lead the team that far. And also just SGA, once again, I think you put him off this team, and it doesn't really do that much.
It will come down to towards the second half of the season because, SGA, it doesn't have as much playoff experience as much as Giannis, obviously, but we'll see how that goes. What do you think about baseball, spring training right now? We're getting into the thick of things. League season's coming up soon. Who are going to be some heavy hitters this season?
I mean, I don't know how heavy this is, and I know there's a little bit of a hot take, you may say, but for the first time ever, I have faith in the Detroit Tigers. They're never good. They haven't been good in forever. But
You're right.
They have good young players. I mean, Alex Lang and Therese Gubal at the pitching. Like, these are both guys who are just getting better and better. And they got Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, and Parker Meadows all getting better. I mean, they're not going to be crazy. Maybe but I say they're above 500. I'm far from playoffs, but the best season for the Tigers in a while.
Hey, we've seen in the last couple of years, if you can just get a taste of the playoffs, you can maybe make a run. Mm-hmm. So any team has a chance, really. But listen, if you're bad that long, you're going to get guys from the minor league. You're going to get draft picks. Eventually, you got to get out of your slump.
You would think.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, Detroit has not had the most success with long slumps in sports. So we'll see how that turns around. I mean, some other teams. What do you guys think? How about your Orioles, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that happen with like teams that have bad seasons, accrue draft picks, and then they win. I mean, we see it happen. Great team. Obviously, I think they're one of the main contenders this season. I have the O's, Yankees, Dodgers, Braves, Rangers. Those are the only teams I really see with a chance at the title. The Central sucks.
As good as those teams are, I really only see 3 teams with it. It's the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Braves. You see the amount of star power on those teams. I mean, I just don't think another team could contend. Yeah, the Orioles are good.
Can the stars show up in November for the Yanks?
How about the Dodgers, too? They choke every year in the fall.
But now they have Shohei Ohtani.
But that's the thing.
Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman,
the Angels had Shohei Ohtani too, and they
Betts.
didn't do anything. They have star power there too. I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take some time. They don't have the chemistry yet. I know you don't need as much chemistry in baseball, but they're all new to that city. It's a brand new roster.
It doesn't
pretty
matter
much.
how new you are. These are multi-time MVPs. This is probably over 5 MVPs combined.
We don't know if
for
Shohei's
them.
going to be the same after the injury either.
He doesn't need a pitch. He's still one of the best hitters in the league.
He
We'll
did
see,
have
we'll
Tommy
see.
John as well at one point before this.
Don't need Tommy John to hit. You see it with Bryce Harper.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah, definitely.
Just
that
pitching.
might not affect his hitting.
I mean, a team, I don't know if this team's going to win it all, but a team that I have making the playoffs who hasn't been there in a little bit, the San Francisco Giants, they have impressed me. They have, great additions with Robbie Ray, just signing Matt Chapman, also got Jung-Hoo Lee. Like, those are big signings from them. And then they also have young players who are getting better. Logan Webb is already one of the best pitchers in the league, and he's getting better. Lamonte Wade's, he's still new, but he's getting up there. And then Camilo Duval is one of the best relievers in the league, and he's only getting better. So, this team's kind of scary. I don't think they'll win it all, but I could see playoffs in the future for them.
And we're seeing pitching. That's the key to these teams. If you don't have a good pitching core, good bullpen, you're not gonna win enough games. We see it with the Phillies. We saw it with the Phillies. They lost the World Series last year. It happens way too much.
Yeah, the Phillies, they're good, but they might be. That's it for us. On to club hockey interviews with Tyler.